Hi, this is Gail Purith, and today I want to share a devotion with you that talks about the importance of the word eyes as it's used various places in Scripture. God uses eyes to illustrate some very important truths. Now, I'm going to be reading a lot of what I'm sharing today because a bunch of it is Scripture, and I want to get that right. I haven't memorized all these Scriptures. But we read in Matthew 6:22 and 23. The eye is the lamp of the body. If your eyes are healthy, your whole body will be full of light. But if your eyes are unhealthy, your whole body will be full of darkness. If then the light within you is darkness, how great is that darkness? Now, I know when I first read this passage, I was like, the eye is a lamp of the body. What does that mean? And we do get some insights here that it talks about darkness and light, which is a very dominant theme in Scripture. But let's go through and look at some other scriptures that talk about eyes. They're not all exactly the same, but they have some similarities, I think, that will help us understand this passage as well as other important facts about eyes. Christ explains that if our eye causes us to sin, it's better to enter life with one eye than to have two eyes and be thrown in hell. Now, that's a very strong statement. We know how important our eyes are to us in our everyday life. But while that isn't a literal meaning, Christ isn't actually saying that we should cut out one of our eyes if it causes us to sin. But he is saying that's the importance of sin in our lives. That's how important it can affect us. Well, one thing we know that is very clear about eyes is that they can be lustful. 1 John 2:16 says, "For everything in the world, the lust of the flesh, the lust of the eyes, and the pride of life comes not from the Father, but from the world." Many have been destroyed by lust. Not only, we usually put the term lust with sexual things, but not only by sexual lust, but also by just lust for power or for prestige or for money or for other kinds of things that are just strictly worldly values. You know, when Saul encountered God in Acts 9 1 through 8, he went blind. And when he was saved, he said that something like scales fell from his eyes. His eyes then began to see, not just physically, but spiritually. And Paul's mission, we're told, was to open the Gentiles' eyes and turn them from darkness to light, from the power of Satan to the power of God. That's in Acts 26, 9 through 18. We're also told in Matthew 5 that sin is like a log in our eyes, changing our views of right and wrong. When we're struggling with life, we're told we must fix our eyes on what is seen. No, I'm sorry. We must not fix our eyes on what is seen, but what is unseen. Because unseen are those things that we know God has promised us, eternal things, rewards that we may not see here on earth. Eyes, as used in these passages, reflect our desires, our actions, and our thoughts, many of which are related to things that we actually do see with our physical eyes. What gets our attention? What is our focus? And what affects our view of things? What are your eyes fixed on today, dear Christians?